You're listening to Female Founders with Claire Bartlett, the podcast that tells you what it is really like to be a female founder in today's world. We share invaluable insights through personal journeys and real-life business experiences, highlighting the highs and the lows so you can move forward in your business with ease. I am passionate to share with you the realities of business and give you the strategies and simple steps you need to truly succeed with your business. Today's episode is brought to you by Xero Accounting Software, a champion of female entrepreneurs and a proud sponsor of the Female Founders podcast. Managing your business finances can feel overwhelming, but Xero simplifies it all and gives you the power to keep your books in order and your mind on growth. Xero have offered an amazing 50% discount on your first 3 months with them. So if you'd like to take advantage of this amazing deal, just search refer.xero.com/female founders or follow the link in the show notes. Don't forget to give this show a follow to make sure you never miss an episode and share it with any incredible female founders you know. But for now, let's jump into this week's episode. Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the Female Founders podcast. My name is Claire Bartlett and I am your host. And today I want to talk to you all about visibility. Now, visibility is a word that is thrown around so much, and I know I talk about it all the time, gaining new visibility for your business and growing that audience. But what does visibility actually mean for your business? And when I say visibility to you, do you know what channels you're actually thinking about for your business? What actually would work best for you? There are so many avenues that you could use to gain visibility for your business. There are, generic social media channels. There's being a guest expert slots, sharing that value for free to other people's audiences in the hope that they move to yours. There's podcasts, there's PR and media, magazines, newspapers, television, writing a book. There are so many different avenues that you could use to gain visibility. So how do you choose what's going to work best for you and where to put your time and effort into? Well, the main question you have to ask yourself is, where is your ideal client? Because I know so many people talk about ideal clients, so I'm not going to go through with you, how to work out your ideal client. But what I will say is how important it is to understand who your ideal client is and who you are wanting to work with. It gives you that clarity that you need to focus all of your attentions and your marketing to that ideal client. But once you know who they are, the second most important question that you could ask yourself is, where are they? Where is that ideal client? Where do they spend their downtime and where do they hang out? Because if you don't know the answer to that question, you could build a whole visibility strategy for your business and be working non-stop on building that audience and going down that path. But actually nothing is landing and you're not growing your audience, especially not with people that would actually work with you, because they're not there. They're somewhere else entirely. So it's so important to figure this out. Social media, in my belief, has very different audiences. LinkedIn is a very different audience to TikTok. Facebook can be quite different to Instagram. The clients on each platform are looking for something different in each space. They're all very unique, but they're also, hanging out in specific places. So there's no point in you spending all of your time on LinkedIn, potentially investing, in LinkedIn courses and coaching, when actually your ideal client don't use LinkedIn. They're all over on Instagram. So it's so important to ask these questions. Where will these people be hanging out? An easy way to answer this, if you aren't sure, is to ask them. You already have a community that you've built somewhere. So ask them, where's your favorite platform? Where do you spend most of your time? It could be made into a very easy, fun, interactive game. Give me this emoji if you love Instagram. Give me this emoji if you love Facebook. Make it something really quick and easy for people to take part in. It can be a poll, but the easier it is, the more answers you'll get, which will give you more clarity around this area of your business. Do your ideal client listen to podcasts? Is this what they do in their downtime, or do they sit and read the newspaper or the magazine? What TV shows do they watch? Is your dreams always been to get onto the red sofa on This Morning, which happens to be one of my dreams? Do your ideal clients actually watch that show at all? There's so many questions that you need to ask yourself in this area before you can even consider building a visibility strategy. Get really solid on knowing where they are and then use that information to start building your methods of visibility that you will then use for your business. When we talk about the methods, you have to also be confident and comfortable, right, with whatever it is that you're offering, where your clients are. If your clients do watch This Morning, for instance, but you can't think of anything worse than going live on TV, then you know that that avenue of visibility isn't going to work for you. So where else do they spend their time? Nobody only has that one avenue, okay? So they will be on social media, they will be listening to podcasts, they will be watching TV shows, they will be attending networking events or business retreats. There's so many different places, but they will all have at least 2 or 3 of these places that you could start spending your time. If they listen to podcasts, what type of podcast do they listen to? Do they listen to business, business related podcasts, or do they listen to home styling and lifestyle podcasts? These questions aren't that hard to get the answers to. Like I said, you can ask them directly in fun and interactive ways. But until you know the answers, it's very difficult to build that visibility strategy plan. Once you have the answers and you know where your audience are, this is where you need to start thinking outside the box. Okay, well, how can I reach them if they're in this place? Visibility is a funny tool, okay? You can gain loads of visibility in one area, but it doesn't reach at all to the audience in another space. So you need to have a way of bringing that audience with you wherever you're going. I have my Facebook community, so I spend a lot of my time on Facebook building that community, connecting with people in there. It's very difficult to, spend all of my time, if I was going to spend all of my time building an audience on Instagram, to suddenly start trying to get all of those people over from Instagram to Facebook. People are stuck in their ways, right? And they might not want to spend time on Facebook. They might not have a Facebook account. So it's really important to give them options. A huge benefit to any business, and I honestly can't stress this enough, is to have your email list. You need to own these people's connections. You've built this audience, you've spent time building that authority and gaining that audience. You can't let any just social media platform own that audience. You need to be able to bring them out of social media into your space, and the email list is the easiest way to do that. But how do you get someone's email list when they are following you on Instagram, for instance? People are less likely to share their information now more than ever, I would say, because there's so much spam out there. There's so many, you're asked for your email constantly, aren't you, in all different angles. And I know that I have got much more tighter with handing out my email address. But what would get me to hand out my email address is value. If you are offering your audience, a product or something that's going to give them value in their day-to-day, whether that's a free PDF guide or an ebook that can be a short webinar, a link to a webinar. It can be anything that you're giving away for free that's going to add real value and worth to them, that they see as a fair trade for their email address. Now, this freebie, it can be called, there's so many different names for it. People call it a hook. It can be a lead generator. It can be a funnel. There's so many different terms, right? And you'll see them all. Everyone uses different things, but ultimately they all mean the same thing. They just mean something that you are going to give away for free in return for someone's email address. What's really vital once you have that email address is to use it. There's no point in getting all of this information. By them giving you that email address, they're saying, yes, I love what you do. I really want that piece of information that you're sharing with me, and I want to hear from you in the future. I want to hear more of the value and the knowledge and skills that you can share with me. So they're asking you to email them, you know, so do so. Share more information with them. Don't just start hitting them direct with sales emails because, hello, I would be unsubscribing in a millisecond. I want more value from you. I want to know what you're about, who you are, and what it is that you can help me with in detail. Because from what I've been hearing recently, I think we all used to think it was 7 touch points, right? You need to be seen 7 times before someone would invest in you. But actually, I think it's 28 times now. That is how tight we all have all got, that you need to be in someone's space 28 times before they will invest in your business, before they will spend their money with you. Email is a great tool for that. If they're already following you on social media, so they're going to be seeing your social media posts, brilliant, tick. You then start emailing them, not a lot. You do not want to be a spammy pammy. Everybody hates a spammy pammy. But, send a Friday, this is what's happened in my week email. Once or twice a week is probably enough unless you're really launching something specific and, there's a lot of information to share. But on a general week, 1 to 2 emails max, just really light-hearted, oh, here's another freebie for you. This is what I've been up to this week. How's your week been? Make it conversational. But that's another touch point that you've had with that person. So you've brought them into 2 areas of your world. And that's brilliant because suddenly that 28 times that they needed to see you, it's going to be halved because they're already getting an email or 2 every week from you. They're seeing all of the content that you're consistently putting out on your social media. They're warming up every single time that touch point is there and they're warming up to you. So visibility can mean so many different things, and they all have to work relatively simultaneously with each other. Social media is really important. You need to have good social media and consistent social media channels. It doesn't have to be all of them at all, but you need at least one really strong social media channel that works alongside the extra avenues of visibility that you are working towards, whether that is guesting on podcasts, doing guest live experts in people's communities, whether it is speaking, public speaking at events, webinars, those sorts of things. That works alongside your social media because on those events, when people are seeing you, what are they most likely to do if they have enjoyed what you've said? They're going to go and search for you on social media and connect with you on there. Brilliant. They've then come into your space. You've, brought them into your audience. That's really great. But what's also really important, the third avenue, is to be getting them onto that email list. So giving them that freebie, that piece of value that is costing you nothing. So don't give away something like, a free 30-minute call or, a one-to-one session. You need to create something once. So spend some time on it once and then be able to hand it out completely freely to as many people who want it, but it's not taking up any more of your time. That is the perfect freebie. Then by doing that, it's an extra touch point. So that's your second touch point straight away. Again, they're seeing how you work. They're getting to know, like, and trust you and how you work. Then they're going to also be on your email list. So visibility is a whole strategy, and there are so many avenues. What's really important, as I've said, when you are looking to grow your audience and build your visibility, is ask yourself these questions. Number 1, where is my ideal client? Where do they hang out? And where is it important for me to focus my energies? Number 2, when you've found where your ideal client are, which areas that they are in are you most confident to go after? Is it to start guesting on podcasts? Is it to do some lives? Is it public speaking? Where is your confidence level and what will you be able to confidently go after to put yourself in front of those audiences? Number 3, build your strategy. What is that freebie? How are you going to hook them from wherever it is that you are putting yourself in front of them and bring them across to your audience? You need to be able to bring them into your space so you can continue to nurture them and have those 28 touch points. And finally, when you're gaining all this visibility, you're guesting on a webinar or you're on a podcast, whatever it is that you're doing, don't forget to use that for content in your social media and in your email accounts. Tell people, because by your sharing it, you're giving value to that host, whoever it is that's allowing you into their space, their shared audience, because ultimately that's what it is, right? You are, for that hour, for however long it is, you're borrowing their existing audience and hoping to bring some of them over into your space. So to make it worthwhile for them as well, and as a thank you, you can be sharing about it in your space. It's a brilliant free way of getting some easy content for you to stay consistent on your socials. You can use it for your weekly email, so it gives you content for your email. It gives you authority because you're looking like an expert that is sharing that information with a wider audience. Huge one. And finally, it's fun. It fills your feed. It gets more people interested in what you're doing, but also your audience then are being introduced to that podcast host, to whoever it is that's allowed you into their space. So it's a win-win across both sides. So have a think. First main question, like I said, is where is your ideal audience? Where do they hang out? Have a think, work from those answers, ask them directly, and then build that strategy. And then start moving forward with those plans to grow your audience for your business. Thank you so much for joining me again this week. I cannot wait to speak with you soon. Have a great week, and I'll catch you next time. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode, which was brought to you by Xero Accounting Software, a champion of female entrepreneurs and a proud sponsor of the Female Founders Podcast. If you're running a small business and you're dreaming big, then Xero is here to help make those dreams a reality. Xero is all about supporting women like you, who are not just running businesses, but are also changing the game. So whether you're just starting out or you're scaling up, join a global community of female founders who trust Xero to manage their finances efficiently. Just visit refer.xero.com/female founders to learn more. But for now, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and share this episode with all the incredible female founders you know. And together, let's change what it means to be a female founder in today's world.